Hello CAPE members and welcome to our second online group. I'm Esme and I started reading with you The Little Prince. So, if this is the first video you're seeing, quickly put it on pause and go back and see the other video and then you can catch up and read along with us. So let's continue to find out what happened with The Little Prince. It took me a long time to find out where he came from. The Little Prince, who asked me so many questions, never seemed to hear mine. It is thanks to the odd words here and there that everything was revealed to me. For instance, when he saw my aeroplane for the first time, I shall not draw my aeroplane, that would be far too complicated for me. He asked, "What is that object?" It is not an object, it flies. It is an aeroplane. It is my aeroplane. And I was proud to be able to tell him that I could fly. He cried out then, "What? You dropped down from the sky?" "Yes," I replied modestly. "Oh, that's funny." And the little prince broke into a lovely peal of laughter which annoyed me no end. I like my misfortunes to be taken seriously. "So you too come from the sky? Which planet?" I immediately perceived a ray of light in the mystery of his presence and at once questioned him. "So you've come from another planet?" But he didn't reply. He nodded gently whilst gazing at my aeroplane. It is true that on that you can't have come from very far away. He sank into a long reverie. Then, taking my sheep out of his pocket, he contemplated his treasure. You can imagine how my curiosity was aroused by this half-confidence about the other planets. So I tried to find out a little more. "Where do you come from, my little fellow? Where is this 'where I live' of which you speak? Where do you want to take my sheep?" After a thoughtful silence, he replied, "What I like about the box you have given me is that it can be used as a house at night." "Of course, and if you are good, I shall also give you some rope to tie him up during the day and a post to tie him to." But the little prince seemed shocked by my proposal. "Tie him up? What a funny idea!" "But if you do not tie him up, he will wander off and get lost." My friend burst out laughing again. But where would he go? "Anywhere, just straight ahead." Whereupon the little prince remarked gravely, "It wouldn't matter. Everything is so small where I live." And perhaps a little wistfully he added, "Straight ahead of oneself, one can't go very far." Chapter 4. Thus, I had learned a second very important thing, that his planet of origin was scarcely larger than a house. But that did not really surprise me very much. I knew full well that apart from the large planets such as Earth, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, which have been given names, there are hundreds of others which are sometimes so small that it is difficult to see them through a telescope. When an astronomer discovers one of them, he does not give it a name, but a number. He might call it, for example, asteroid 235. I have serious reasons to believe that the little prince's planet of origin was asteroid known as B612. This asteroid has only been observed once through a telescope by a Turkish astronomer in 1909. At the time, he organized a great demonstration of his discovery at an international astronomical congress. But because of his Turkish attire, nobody believed him. Grown-ups are like that. Fortunately, for the reputation of asteroid B612, a Turkish dictator imposed European costume upon his subjects under pain of death. So the astronomer repeated his demonstration in 1920, dressed in an elegant suit. And this time everybody was convinced. If I have told you these details about asteroid B612 and revealed its number to you, it is on account of grown-ups. Grown-ups love figures. When you talk to them about a new friend, they never question about essential matters. They never say to you, what does his voice sound like? What games does he prefer? Does he collect butterflies? They ask you, how old is he? How many brothers does he have? How much does he weigh? How much money does his father earn? It is only then they feel they know him. If you mention to grown-ups, I've seen a beautiful house built with pink bricks, with geraniums on the windowsills and doves on the roof, they would not be able to imagine such a house. You would have to say to them, I saw a house worth £100,000. Then they would exclaim, oh, how lovely. Thus, if you said to them, the proof that the little prince really existed was that he was enchanting, that he laughed, that he wanted a sheep. Now, when you want a sheep, it proves that you exist. They will shrug their shoulders and treat you as if you were a child. But if you say to them, the planet he came from was asteroid B612, then they will be convinced and leave you alone with their questions. That is the way they are. One must not hold it against them. Children should show great understanding towards grown-ups. But of course, for those of us who understand life, we could not care less about the figures. We should have liked to start the story like a fairy tale. I should have liked to say, once upon a time, there was a little prince, who lived on a planet scarcely bigger than himself, and who had need for a friend. For those who understand what life is about, it would have been closer to the truth. For I do not want my book to be read carelessly. I have experienced so much grief in setting down these memories. 6 years have already elapsed since my little friend left me with his sheep. If I am attempting to describe him, it is in order not to forget him. It is sad to forget a friend. Not everyone has a friend. And I could become like grown-ups who are only concerned with figures. That is why I've brought a box of paints and some pencils. It's hard to take up drawing again at my age, having never made any attempts other than drawing a boa from the outside and a boa from the inside at the age of 6. I shall certainly endeavour to make my portraits as true to life as possible, but I am not at all sure of succeeding. One drawing is all right, another shows no resemblance at the subject at all. The height is not right, or the prince is a little bit too tall, or here he is a little bit too small, and I'm not sure about the colour of his suit. So I persist by trial and error, and to the best of my ability. I shall also make mistakes about some more important details, but I must be forgiven for that. My friend never explained anything to me. Perhaps he thought I was like him. But, unfortunately, I cannot see sheep through boxes. Perhaps I am a little like grown-ups. I am getting old. So that is chapters 3 and 4. Next week we'll do the next few. And maybe during this time you could be encouraged to get your paints or pencils out. Find something creative. You're never too old to start something new. Okay, I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.